This is 20 years old me. Don't mind the blonde hair. As I said, I'm 20 here, so I hold the keys to a house I just bought, but to get here I went through a long journey that started just from a dream to own and invest in real estate. Hi everyone, you're watching Story About Dan, and in this video I want to share with you 5 steps that I took to buy my first house at the age of 20. I hope this video will help you make your first step towards becoming a homeowner. And as always, a quick disclaimer. I'm not an experienced real estate investor. Also, there are a ton of other options on how to buy houses that won't be mentioned in this video. I'm just sharing my experience, and none of this is investment advice. Alright, let's go. Let's start with a little bit of my background. I didn't come from a rich family and I didn't have anyone just ever give me money. I was born in Ukraine, got my first job at the age of 16 as a visual content creator at a little online shop. When I was 18, my family and I moved to the United States. In the first 2 weeks after moving, I got my first job here as a video producer at a small company. A couple months after working there, I got my first credit card. And this is the step number 1, build your credit. Now I will say, the first 2 steps may take time and discipline to achieve. I knew exactly what I wanted. I wanted to buy a house and invest in real estate. But to get there, I need a good credit score. I watched dozens of videos on YouTube on how to build your credit, and after I went to Wells Fargo and got my first secured credit card. Twice a month I was fully paying it off and was very careful with my credit, which led to a successful score of 760 points. It's that simple. Just pay it off on time and use less than 30% of your credit limit. That's it. Why do you need a credit score? When you apply for any loan, the bank wants to see if they can trust you with money, and your credit score and credit history shows them just that. From here we go to the most important step in my opinion. Save money. I'm naturally good at saving money, so it wasn't a problem for me, but I know that this is a common issue for many. Try to save as much money as you can and don't spend your money on needless stuff. Open a saving account, save as much money as possible, and try to never touch it. Figure out what your goal is, and it will help you figure out how much money you need. In my opinion, you need to have around 10% cash of the purchase price of the house that you want to get. If this is a $300,000 house, you need $30,000 cash. Later, I will explain why. Once you saved up money, you can go to the step 3. Apply for a housing loan. There are different types of loans. You can research all of them and figure out which one is the best fit for you. I personally took FHA loan, for which you need only 3.5% down payment. And this is pretty good. You can put only 3.5% down and save the rest for emergency fund or invest in other opportunities. Consider that you will have to pay private mortgage insurance, which is around $120 a month. But you can get rid of it once you paid off 20% of your mortgage and refinance the house, which is exactly what I did. To apply for the loan, you will have to prove employment, let them check your credit report, and show them the assets that you have. It might be hard to get a loan if you have student debt. Also, you won't be able to get much money if your credit score is bad. So if you're in this kind of situation, there is a way for you too. Just get a cosigner, someone you trust who has a good credit score and is willing to help you. But always remember, if you get screwed, they get screwed too. For example, you stop making payments or lose your job, you risk losing the house and your cosigner pays the price too. So be very careful and don't let people who trust you down. Step number 4. Go shop for a house. Everyone is the most excited when it comes to this step. Once you get approved for the loan, find a good trustworthy realtor and start looking for the house. I'm in Texas and the market here in 2022 is pretty competitive. You find a house, you love it, you send an offer, and realtor tells you that it's already off the market. Just be patient and don't give up. Before I bought my house, I looked at 16 houses. I absolutely loved 4 of them, and 4 of them sold before I even sent an offer. But the 16th house was the last one that I loved and the one I got. I didn't really have a realtor. The gentleman I was working with is a retired realtor, so I did all the paperwork myself, and he just explained to me what is what. Because of that, I've learned a lot about the whole buying and selling process, which I'm really thankful for. So Harold, if you're watching this, thank you. Let me tell you a few tips that I've learned along the way. First, when you make an offer, make sure you get an option period for at least 7 days. An option period is the time that you, the buyer, have to terminate a contract for the house without paying a termination fee, in case you change your mind. If seller agrees to give you an option period, that's great. Now you have 7 days to explore the house and do an inspection. Although, if the market is very competitive, sellers might decline your offer because they have more offers lined up. Do a full house inspection. This way you won't have any surprises when you get into the house. You will know what you're dealing with. If the house has too many problems, you may negotiate lower price or just terminate the contract and move on. I'll make a separate video about what to look when you buy a house because it's a whole nother subject. Step number 5, closing. After you get a contract for the house you want, your escrow agent will schedule a closing. Earlier I said that you need around 10% cash of the purchase price of the house. Let's say you buy a $300,000 house. You need at least 3.5% for the down payment. It's $10,500. Closing costs will be anywhere from 2 to 5% of the purchase price. So in this case, it's around $6,000 to $15,000. In total, it's around 8%. And now you also have 2% left, which is $6,000 that you can use as an emergency fund. Always have an emergency fund. The best case for an emergency fund is to save for 6 payments ahead. After you close on the house, congratulations! You're officially a homeowner. You get the keys and you can move in. And here I went from getting my first credit card, building my credit score, saving money, finding a house, and finally closing on it. One last thing I would say is don't rush. Just be patient and make the right decisions. Everything will happen when it's the right time for it to happen. This was a very short overview on how to buy a house, so let me know in the comments if you want to learn more, and I'll make sure to make another video on this subject. I hope this was very helpful, and I hope you can buy your own house very soon. Thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next video.